Good morning, YouTube. Someone give me a thumbs up on audio and charts, please. Where am I? Where am I? Hello, friendly folks, early birds. Everybody's late this morning. Am I missing something? Thumbs up. Thank you, Oliver. Where am I? There I am. Good morning, Luis. Hi, Larry. Light room today. What's with that? I got dressed and everything. Yeah. The smaller the group, the more questions we get. So here's my plan this morning. The plan is to revisit the big picture. A lot of people are ignoring the big picture, and then see if we can look at some charts that make sense. And what's the catalyst? What's the risk? What do I do in a dip? So all these are questions. So we did a session with the members yesterday. Maybe you were there. It had about 110, maybe 120 tickers. And then I did a Sunday night video with the big picture. So I'm kind of going to repeat both, basically. So we're looking at the NASDAQ. This is the NASDAQ futures contract. So you can see it's in a stratosphere. So this morning I wanted to put some support and resistance. So if you got my morning note, you will see that a lot of the resistance, it says none recent, no recent resistance. So I wouldn't let that doesn't mean that there isn't resistance. It just means it's not recent. It doesn't count as much. So unless the bears have help from the headlines, it's going to be difficult to do much damage, sustainable damage. That's why I said dips are normal, but they will feel bad because that would be 2% and that would be 4%. But that's just a few days ago. So the rallies have been very, very fast and furious. So the dips will feel painful. But if you zoom out, they have been buying dips. So the February breakout is this clump down on the bottom left. Hi, Neve. So whatever dips come, I'm looking to get engaged long as opposed to run and hide. A lot of people are going to make you run and hide, and I would want to resist that. Like this arrow right here, it said dips are normal, and I bet you during that day it felt pretty bad. So control your feeling. That's almost 3%. Okay, and that's painful, but it was just 2 days prior support. So these dips are going to be bad, and you will probably find some headlines that are scary. But the way I see it is, unless a new shoe to drop, there is no help for the bears. So another rate hike is not a shoe to drop. Something new, something different. And apparently they did away with the debt ceiling. They kicked the can, I hear. Somebody said. I was at a graduation party yesterday and somebody said that. We'll see. So that's the NASDAQ. What about the S&P? The futures on the S&P, this would be what it looks like. This circle took a year to get out of. And we kind of anticipated the breakout, and we were plotting it. We were cautious, and we were looking for dips to buy. And I just added this arrow. These are my targets that we have hit. And I'll show you one on the small caps. I don't remember what that arrow was. Above here, bulls have room to run, pivotal almost 2 years. Okay, so we're coming up on 43.30 and in the futures, and that has been a problem for a long time. So if they take it out after multiple attempts, they will overshoot higher. We just cleared a big chunk. That circle has dates that are spread out for the last year, maybe 2. What I would like to see is a dip and hold it. So then that would confirm the breakout. And the dip again can be 1 to 2 to 3%, but hopefully not 3, because 3 will put us back down here. And that will just defeat the purpose. What you need is a bounce off the top of it or slightly into it, and then make a higher high. That would confirm the breakout completely. So, hi Pratik, good morning. So that's the goal this week, to have a couple of hiccups, but nothing major, so that the S&P can solidify the breakout. Finally, the S&P broke out. We don't want to retrace. And this is the small caps. And I usually show the IWM. It's more familiar to people. This was the arrow I had before. Look at how accurate they broke down from it. What happened last week. Exactly the target, right? So I will take that out. But we anticipated a breakout. It took for freaking ever. I got stopped out of my longs at maximum gains, unfortunately. But this has been, we've been waiting for this. 180 and then 180.5, and then finally now they broke out of 180.5. Same as the S&P. They should retrace, and if they do, I would like them to hold 178, 177 for best results. So stay inside this box. And then we would make progress, because then you would want them to curl back up, beat that high, and go to like 185. That would solidify the breakout. Hi, Ryan. So this is the mode I'm in. I'm looking for opportunities to get long rather than opportunities to run and hide. And we will have bad days. And if there's no new headline with it, I don't think the bad days are sustainable. Okay, good morning. So people are strolling in late. What's up with the late shift? Good morning, Monday morning. I hear you. It was hard to get out of bed today. All right, so this is the big picture and the mode of engagement for me. Short term, if I'm actively trading the day, I'm looking for dips to get long into support. Like if we drop on this particular stock into 177 and 176, I'm not running. I'm looking to see if it's buyable dip. If not, definitely into 173, 174. Okay, and those are short term. So if I take a long, however I do it, buying shares, buying calls, I would put a mental stop on there. I wouldn't let it go past X of losses, because this is an active trade. This W that you see here, the red W, is kind of a bearish setup, but it's not really properly set up. But it just tells us that dips are okay. And the first dip into this box would be just fine. Because what you want to do is if they dip into the box, they curl back up, and then they break out and they head to 188. The IWM has a lot to make up. If I go to a daily chart here, you will see how laggy it is. So this is the IWM, it's right here. That's February. Watch the SPY. That's February, and this is where it's at. Watch the QQQ. That's February, and look at where it's at. Okay? So the QQQ is in the stratosphere fighting August. They're fighting, they beat August, they beat February, they beat August, now they're in April of last year. Fights. It shouldn't be easy, and then there should be a drop, and the drop is going to be hilarious. By that I mean very painful, because just to give back to the breakout zone, it's probably 10%. Yep. Just to come back to the breakout zone, it's 10%, courtesy of NVIDIA. So you can't chase blindly. And if we do have a correction, the NASDAQ has the furthest to go. But I think they need something pretty concrete in order to shake the resolve of these bulls. We'll see what they can muster. Okay? All right. So a lot of things to watch. You should watch bonds. If the bond prices like the TLT falls apart, then rates are rising, so there's something brewing in the background. Rates should not be rising if we did a if we have a deal on no default. Rates should ease up a little bit from that fear. We'll see what happens with the dollar and gold and all of that. All right, so let's run through some tickers. Let's see. You can start putting tickers in there, and I'm going to see if I have a list. I had a few people reach out. So here are the things I have. Tell me, what else do you want to see? Google is on there. Just look at that list. If your stock is not on there, let me know. Okay, I'm going to start with the first one. We just did the SPY QQQ IWM on an Airbnb. Airbnb is not there. I'm gonna rely on you that so we don't do a stock twice. Okay, so let's go started here. Tesla is the first one on the list. I'll stay chronologically proper. Okay, so Tesla is very important. The bears cannot blink. What is this? That tall, skinny dip. Okay, so this is the Tesla daily. You can tell it's trying to take out its February highs. The S&P just did it. So if they accomplish that, they can target 280. I don't think it's going to be easy. There's a big hiccup at 30, so 230, 240, and this is a giant neckline. Big area / test for Tesla. So what I would think they would do, dip a little bit, come back like Microsoft, and boom, explode. That's what I would do. So buyable dips. So buyable dips if they come for the breakout, because that is a breakout right there brewing. But the breakout is going to have to cut through a long-standing big problem. So okay, be careful with that. No problem at all. Thank you for the help. Okay, so this is what it is. The mode is buy the dip, and the dip could be harsh, so I would buy the dip. There should be support at 205 and some more at 197. We'll see what happens on Tesla. Don't short Tesla without real reason. Apple is on the verge of astonishing people. So somebody made the comment, and I totally agree. What if Apple starts talking about AI? I don't believe they have. So imagine what Apple can do, like NVIDIA. And earlier we said it's looking like it's drawing an inverse head and shoulders. It's a bullish pattern that has upside. And they kind of broke out last week. They're tackling problems from December. So if they can hold 172 or 170.5, they have a path to 200 plus. Okay, which means new highs, which means what's the S&P going to do? Because Apple will probably take Microsoft with it, and we'll look at Microsoft next. And they are the two biggest components in the S&P. So Microsoft has hit my target. I said the same thing about Microsoft with the inverse head and shoulders. You see that? Just like Apple, but way back then. And that was my target, and it's almost here. So Microsoft is also tackling its December highs. November, December, we had like a weird CPI reaction a couple of times. So this is the byproduct. Now they're attacking those areas, those periods of time. So it is going to be difficult to just slice through these. But it is doable. I wouldn't short this. I would be looking for opportunities to get long. Now, Alphabet is lagging a little bit, kind of, but it has very similar complex, very similar structure to Microsoft. So I'm going to back to Microsoft. Right here, breakout. Google, right here, breakout. Target, and look, with Google, it's even easier to see the problem. Look at it. From here to here, massive area of failure. So 144 to 126. You see it back from April. That is a pretty big problem, but it's wide. So it's not like the bears have a point they can hit, but it's going to be a tough slog. Also, I don't like this here. That's a weak point in the chart. It's a beast of a company, so I'm like broken up about it. I don't know what to do. I don't think that's a good base, so I'm thinking they need to drop. Same with this guy. I don't think I've ever seen this as a good base. Look, a double gap here, gap above everything. There's nothing. There's literally nothing here. And then build a whole castle on top of this. That's not good. Not a good base. So it needs to come back and consolidate here a little bit. So imagine if this happens, 20% drop in NVIDIA. What will the market do? Because NVIDIA pretty much broke us out. But can it take us back down? Right? Here's AMD. Less aggressive, but still aggressive. And AMD sailed through the area. This area was a huge problem for AMD. If you've been with me, you've seen this chart before. I'll show it to you here. Watch AMD on a weekly basis. Right there, that arrow we drew months before this came, and this is the neckline they've just leaped over. And they could run more, but the charts are starting to look extended like giraffe necks, right? Yeah. So I don't want to short, but I definitely don't want to chase blindly, okay? Because there are some things that are going on that look weird on a chart, like visibly weird. And I'm a fan, remind you. So it's not like I'm hating on the market. So this is Micron. I like it on dips into 65, to be honest. They have support at 67, but 65 would be a better base. So if I visually slice it, you can, oh, I do have lines, like this area here. So if Micron falls 6 to 15%, it's no reason to shy away from it. It's reason to get engaged with it. Okay, so taking that out is going to be pretty difficult. They will need updates like, hey, our business is doing better because ... I don't think it just can walk through that. Here's the SMH. Everything I said about the last three stocks applies here. The SMH, just like Micron, has a huge problem that it needs to tackle technically and would make sense to get engaged on dips. So, for example, if this happens, don't you think that there'll be some support in this area? I think so. I think I can put a rectangle here instead of a line and say support confidently for at least the midterm. And then there's another one below it. So pick your level of engagement where you want to get long. Good morning, Mark. So buy the dip, you hear those terms. So I'm in still a buy the dip mode. I'm looking to get engaged long as opposed to looking to short. A lot of people instinctively want to short. Okay, short term, but in principle, it's not easy to short this much exuberance. And I called the video here today, the session, the bears are in deep right? Because they need help from headlines. I don't think they can cause a debacle without some artificial catalysts. They need help from the headlines. If not, they need to make up stuff. Thanks, Big O. This hit my target, and this is a buy the dip mode. These two candles are important, so I think 370 plus or minus $3 are pretty important. And if it ever gets back to 350, I'll put an alert. That's a good base. It's a solid base for somebody that missed the rally. Technically, if you saw my video last night, if you remember, taking out 380 should have much more upside, like a lot more upside. But look at that mess up there. But that would cover the gap. So look at it. You can see it here. Shoulder, huge head down there, shoulder, and they just broke out. Technically, this should head to 480, 490. But here's the thing. What can derail this? Headlines from the company or a market-wide dip. So I'm looking to get long this company as opposed to shorting it. So if somebody said, I want to short it, I would say you should also go long it by some credit put spread, bull put spreads, just to not be as aggressive with your opinion without proof or evidence of reason to short. Oh, the RSI is too high. Well, the RSI can stay too high for a long time. You better have 2 or 3 reasons to short, not just one, not because you disagree with it. So here's another headline that could move this company. I don't think they started enforcing the password sharing thing. When they do, maybe they have an uptick in subscribership. right? Like if we had people sharing passwords and that one person said, you can't share my password anymore. And so are they not going to watch Netflix? I bet you they'll sign up. So they might have an uptick in subscribership and cause another headline breakout. So be careful shorting it without protection. There are ways to short with the options that are not very risky, without open-ended risk. LULU, oh boy. So we wanted to short it and it was shortable and that was correct. And then we wanted to go long. We just waited one day. That was a messy chart and it fixed itself. So this is how messy it was. That's the daily chart on LULU. And that was the mess, and they just fixed it, and they went back up there, created another mess. So this is your box. Trade the box and then chase outside the box. So if they break out from the 390, they will overshoot to 420, 430. Otherwise, I expect them to ping pong inside the upper half of the box. If they come back to the lower half, it's an opportunity to get long. And if they ever lose 286, that means the market is in trouble. Because I think the company is pretty solid. It's not going to go there all by itself. Hello, folks. I do have a list of tickers for us, and I think I have them here. And I'm going to add to it because some of you have been contributing your own tickers. So we have onsemi, Airbnb, HMC. Never heard of it. PayPal, AYX. So PayPal is not there. Make sure you look at that list. Scroll up. I'll add as many as I can. I'm not sure we will have enough time. Those and the last ones I just added, they're not on it. Okay. S and MP. You guys have some pretty obscure tickers. MasterCard. All right, Lonnie. Hi, Lonnie. We can do Palo Alto Network. Okay, we have updated the list and we'll crank right through. Crowdstrike, one of the easiest wins we've had in a long time. I said let it dip and come back and do that over time, right? And then the earnings came out and it dipped and we went long the morning of the earnings. We didn't catch the very bottom because the very bottom was pre-open. And then when it opened that day, we went long and it paid us right away. So if somebody wants to get long this thing, the easy money on the earnings reaction was done. The earnings results were fantastic. They grew sales 40-something%. They grew profitability 80-something%. Double check those, I'm pretty sure. And they also raised guidance and the stock fell 12%. Shows you how stupid people are. So that was a buying opportunity. So the trade played out. Another dip, I will do the same thing. So if it does come back to 140, 141, 142, start looking for longs. Earnings support below. Get long. Crap put spread probably. Okay, this is a note to myself. All right, folks. That's pretty good there. So crowd buy the dip opportunity, and if it ever breaks out from 163, you can probably chase it as a momentum trade. Not everybody's qualified to do that, by the way, so make sure you are. You don't chase, drive your own race. I used to race, and if I tried to drive as fast as the person in front of me and I wasn't qualified, I will crash. True story. First day out, somebody passes me. Ooh, I can keep up with this guy. Nope, I couldn't. So that was a lesson learned for me. So drive your own race. This guy here has a support band inside here. Buy the dip opportunity, kind of like the QQQ. Way too high. This is a THTH. If you don't know what that is, I have an acronym that I use. THTH. It's too high to chase and too hot to short. Right? What are you shorting? They're making a lot of money and they have this concept that is not paying them anything now. So it's too high to chase it if you're an investor. And now you want to get all in, that's pretty bad. And if you're shorting it, what are you shorting? It's a freight train. It's like NVIDIA. Yes, it's going to have a big drop if it happens, but when will it happen? How long can you be short? So it's kind of one of those things. I take it off my trade list because I don't know what's going to happen when. Gold is looking a little weak. This is a must hold area, and it would be an opportunity to get long down here somewhere. I do have an alert. I'm going to raise it a little bit, and then I'll add another one here to get long on gold. So I want to get long gold, but not yet. I was long silver for the group. We made money on it pretty quickly. That paid. I'm out. Looking to re-engage on the SLV in gold. Not yet though. I want to see what happens against this support zone. If we hiccup, we might have a good dip, buyable dip on this one. Silver, same comments. It played out. I believe I closed the bet a couple of days ago. The same day it went from very green to very red. So it looks a little bit better than gold with regards to support. So gold is at the line of breakdown, and silver is got this support zone. But if it does lose this guy here, must hold, otherwise it slips lower quite a bit. So the downside of that, if it plays out, is as much as this, maybe more. This is a conservative estimate. So must hold. Okay, and you do have resistance above, by the way. Whoops, that's not what I meant. Copy paste. There are sellers here. Okay, now we are ping-ponging between must hold and resistance. Silver is a little trickier. SOFI, I'm out of my longs. I took longs for the group, and the stock fell apart, and on a stupid downgrade from somebody's price target. That somebody probably feels like a freaking idiot right now. Yeah, hey fella or girl, whoever it was, you might want to revise your numbers. The day after or maybe within 2 days, the stock takes off. So if you took my long, you have a lot of profits. I would exit. I took mine off. I exited a little bit early. So I don't regret exiting. This is a stock that I buy every time it falls under 5, and I make money with it. The entry point wasn't ideal, but it made a lot of money. It was 550-ish. From memory, it was 550-ish. Okay, so buy the dip for me. Not chasing here. If somebody owns it as an investment for the long term, fine. This is one of those speculative long-term bet. Speaking of speculative, I had a whole discussion yesterday about Bitcoin with somebody that was not getting it. They were not getting the crypto concept. No, gold much better because you can hold it in your hands. I was like, okay, so you can hold crypto in your hands if you want to. But anyway, that was a longer conversation. They couldn't get over the hurdle that it's made up. It's electronic. Like a whole bunch of stuff are made up. You know, the Mona Lisa is made up. And it doesn't do anything except sit there and look pretty. And the reason it has value is because a bunch of people want it. Same with crypto. A bunch of people want it. There's not enough of it. It's going to have value. Whether you believe in it or not doesn't really matter. Okay. So this is the debate. Meanwhile, the stock is totally tradable. And now it needs to hold. Otherwise, it will have a downside. Those are lines that were important. And I'm going to take the split of them and tell you that this is doable. And I own BITO. I have been rewarded well. My entry price is way below 11, not around 11, a little bit lower, a little bit higher. And a lot of people have booked it when it went to 18 for us. That's a huge rally. I'm still hanging on to them because it does pay a dividend and it's pretty handsome, like better than anything else on the market. So I will hang on to them because my goals are much higher. Dips into 1350 and 13, I think, are viable opportunities for somebody that does not have any BITO. If you want to take a bet on crypto without risking your money in a crypto account, that's a relatively safe way of doing it. You still have the problem of price action, but you don't have the problem of waking up one day and your crypto.com wallet doesn't open. Yeah, that's the biggest risk I have. My account is very profitable, but I don't know if I will have the money because the bank might be gone, like what happened to FTX. Luckily, so far, my account is still surviving with Crypto.com, but I don't know that they're different from FTX. Okay, who is this? Disney. I got long Disney on the dip. and I think it's about 40% of its maximum gains. There is resistance into 97 and must hold support at 84. If Disney loses 84, I think it dips down into the 70s. So I don't think it does it alone. I think that if the market's hiccups, Disney will have a little tizzy and it will be a viable opportunity. So here it is on the 1 hour chart. Okay, it looks a little bit different. You do have resistance up there, you can see it, and you do have a lot of support, you also can see that. So 87 looks like solid support versus 93.50 solid resistance. 87 to 93.50. So let's put a box around that since we came up with that value. This looks like a good playground. So what does that mean? I don't get long up here, I don't get short down here. I trade this range until it breaks apart, and then I can chase it in that direction. Okay, so what do we have next here? Disney, Amazon. I've heard of this company. Amazon is freaking amazing. So 2 days ago, I ordered some stuff. I bought a new phone and a few toys. I ordered some stuff. By the morning, by 6 a.m., I had stuff on my front door. My dog was barking. I was like, what are you barking at? Somebody delivering packages at 6 a.m. from 10:30 at night. That was incredible. So this is a buy the dip mode. And there are a lot of buyers here that was sellers. Now we'll say support 1. So this was an iron condor we had discussed. So if somebody is stuck in that iron condor, let me know. The earnings super spike, that is an important line. Remember the earnings report, they rallied up to high heaven and then crashed. That's an important line. The fact that they're above it now is pretty crazy. So if they get back to 119, they need to come back and take that out so they don't make it a habit of being below it. So it is in an ascending channel, you can see it. So just trade that spirit, looking for dips to get long. This is a dip, it looked pretty bad, and then they made a higher high. The next dip will probably find support and make a higher high as long as the markets are holding up. Amazon does not have a problem all by itself. Okay, on semi. I don't remember what it looks like on the daily, so let's revisit. Oh, is that an all-time high? Holy moly. Okay, so the big picture is buy the dip, buy the dip. And they come fast and furious. So let's see. This one did not play out. So there's definite support right here. There's also support right here. So 82 is an area of a line of support, and then anything below 78 is a bunch of support, and anything into 68 is a bunch of support. And if we ever come back down to here, get long with both feet, hands and feet. So these are viable opportunities for this one. So I will put alerts for myself and get engaged with these on the dips. So, and then I take it off my watch list. Why would I need to watch it when I know I can't touch it? All right, so shorter term, 83, 82 looks pretty good right here. Versus a takeout of 90, of course, will get you higher highs. So you have buyers here and sellers there. They're going to ping pong inside those two lines until one line breaches. Okay, and then you go in that direction. Airbnb is next. I did catch the falling knife on Airbnb for the gang. I think I just sold a credit put spread. I sold actually naked puts for it. And so that's the mode I'm in with Airbnb. I'm not sold completely on their fundamentals, like profits and whatever. I don't know their management very well, but the concept totally works. So if you want, look at that giant box you can draw around this area. That's your playground. Campbell's, sure, Liz, we'll check out Campbell's. Everybody needs a little Campbell's soup in their portfolio. You'll see why. So this is your huge range of motion. Anywhere in the lower end, you should probably consider longs. I'll put an alert like we did. And then anything up here, you should exit your longs. So ping pong inside that big range. I sold puts, and I think they're near maximum gains. I will take them out and maybe sell another batch to create income without needing anything. So if you don't know anything about how to do that, join the group. You can join me through Benzinga or through me directly. It doesn't matter. I want you with the group, and you will have access to ways of making money without even spending a nickel. So you just do your homework, and you take a risk where other people are not willing to, and you will be better for it. HMC, what is that? Oh, it's Honda. I know them. Not for me. Definitely not for me. Technically, I can explain how it can get to 31 or 31 and a half. But if you're invested in it, good job. See if you can lock some profits, take some off the table. This is an inverse head and shoulders, and it could have a lot more to go. Maybe another 32, 33 are doable based on the technicals. But you're going into a prior fail from February, so that's going to be a technical problem. But wow, what did they invent? The wheel? Okay, PayPal. That was a pain in the you-know-what. We went long, and then it fell apart on us, and now it's one of my biggest wins for the year, because I shared a catch the falling knife with kid gloves, as they say, and then it went against us and against us and against us, and then finally, boom, it popped on a bad day, and it paid. So I added calls. First, I sold puts and shared a put spread. Those are now profitable. But when they were not profitable and PayPal was down here, I bought naked calls. And now those calls are deep in the money and huge rewards, almost a double. So I'm staying in them. I have not sold covered calls against them. I will just book them. I think I have 50 days on the clock, so I'm not in a hurry. Okay. Technically, 66 should be a problem. But look how fast it fell apart. So maybe easy come, easy go, the drop. We'll see. Shorter term, 62, 61 and a half should be solid floor. And they should be able to crawl up to that 66 area. Okay. So you can see how 63, sharp, what is this? Overnight drop to 63. That's crazy. And look at what that is. So yeah, 63 should be support. Everything I'm saying that, depends on the markets, right? You can't just have this company not fall and the markets are falling. So we addressed the markets the first thing. So if you missed that, go back and watch the market coverage in the beginning. It's worth it. This is Alteryx. Getting to gaps like these is one thing, and popping into the gap is another thing. So don't be too enthusiastic about saying, oh, it's going to fill the gap. Those are hard to start. All right. So be realistic. I think 46 to 47 will be difficult, and they will need to come to it from a lower, from support into 40 and a half, come back and tackle this to come back up there. So be looking, don't chase blindly. Do homework on the company. I don't know the company. These comments are just strictly on the stock chart. S, the letter S. Woo, that's nasty. Oof. Yowza. Okay, what do they do? Provision of endpoint security software that detects models and predicts. Whoa. Okay, so that is, revisit the fundamentals. They don't make a lot of money, and they sure spend a lot of money. They spend as much as they make, which is spending is not a problem to me, but they need to show growth, and yikes. Yeah. So the stock market is telling you, we don't like this stock, and you shouldn't either. If you're invested in it, it's too late to panic. But panic, I would pull the ripcord if it makes a new low. You don't know how low it's going to go, right? They held that. I mean, it's a wild card. Do your homework, folks. 14.2 should be a huge problem on the way up if it recovers. Wow. Ouch for that. I'm sorry if you're long. If you're looking to get long, really? I mean, why do you want to? Anyway. Materials. So what do they do? Battery related? Specialty materials. Okay. Like what? Rare earth. Okay, so battery stuff. Okay. If they take out 22.9, I think they have more upside to go. And dips are buying opportunities. They're consolidating sideways. Literally, you can draw a rectangle around 23 and the low, and just ping pong inside that until one side breaks. So if they lose the low, I think they go to 18. If they break out from 23, they can get to 24.5 with a struggle. And then they have a problem there. That area is a problem, and 26 is a problem. This looks like solid support. So if somebody's long, I get it. If somebody's looking to get long on dips, I get it. If somebody's looking to buy the breakout, I also get it. It's an interesting chart. Do your homework on the actual fundamentals. All right, MasterCard. So I thought they were too high up here, and they got corrected, it and Visa. And I missed it. Look at my alert. Oh my gosh. I mean, I wish I had moved my alert an inch up. I would have been alerted to go long MasterCard about a week ago. I missed it, unfortunately. On May 31st, it would have beeped at me to go long. Dang it. Oh. Anyway, so now it bounced 5%. So if you consider this is an extension, this is exactly halfway. Not a reason to get long. If they take out 377, they could get to 385, which I think they have more sellers up there. So there are resistance up here, resistance. And there is a line of resistance right here. And there's definitely support down below. And check it out. This support would be scary to lose, okay? Because that would be a pretty bad day if they lose that. I'm not going to draw the arrow, but the arrow would be down in the 330s, which would be a long opportunity. I'm going to move this up so I don't miss out on the next dip. Okay. All right. So you can see it, shoulder, head, and they could draw the right shoulder. They could draw the right shoulder. They're not definitely drawing it. They could draw it. Okay. Hey, you beat me to it, Big O. I appreciate you. Okay, I have gang in the live room. They're saying, "Where is Nick?" Kind of. So I want to make sure they know where we're at. Palo Alto Networks. I traded it recently, but I wouldn't trade it up here. It's just too high. Great reaction to the chart. Back, broke out. Hey, Blitz. Broke out. So if you're an investor that is buying an entire lot of stocks all in here, you know something I don't. I usually don't do it. Wait for a dip. The dips will come. You be patient, and if they don't, you miss out. So I would definitely be on a, if a dip comes and it will feel painful, and you wouldn't feel like you needed to buy it, but if you feel it now, you will feel it later. So they're up here. They're in open air. The bears have nothing to short. So it's capitulating. The bears are just dead. Like I said with the S&P, the S&P is not in an all-time high, but it's in a high where there's no recent failure. Apple is pretty close. Microsoft is pretty close. So there's danger to the bears. The breakout from here should have 245, 250. Do not short the sucker, okay? We sold puts and sold put spreads. And thank you, Gint. I appreciate you. Gint is helping me out. Here's me helping me out. Boom. It'll show up in a minute. So what I would like to see happen is a dip for me to get engaged. If it's up here, it's gone for me. I missed it, and I should just walk away from it. Campbell Soup. I say everybody needs a little bit Campbell Soup. This stock is bulletproof when the goes down. When the market goes in a tizzy, this stock does really, really well. And it pays a decent dividend. So it's kind of like a weird way of having VIX. So if they lose 50, they could come down to 47, which would be a buying opportunity. Meanwhile, you have sellers into 55. But if you look at it, it's in the hands of the buyers. Look, higher lows from here to here. So that is when? November of 2021. Okay, proof. What happened in November of 2021? The stock market corrected hard, right? Look at CPB. That was when the market started correcting. And look at what this sucker did. This is the biggest correction I've ever lived through in my entire life. And look at what CPP does. That's what I'm saying. Everybody needs a little Campbell Soup in their portfolio. So this is another area of contention. And if I draw an arrow like this, that's the only two arrows I need to trade this stock. It's in the hands of the bulls of that stock, and I should buy dips into that area, plus or minus $2, because that was an area of breakdown and a breakout, and now they need to consolidate above it to make. Yeah, exactly, Dave. I totally agree, Dave. That was pretty good. Good job, man. That's pretty hilarious. So buying dips into that area makes sense. Right here, I'm not broken up into chasing it. What is this, you guys? GEHC. All right, I don't know that one. I know a lot of tickers, but boy, I feel like Kramer now. I know a lot of tickers. If you take out 81.8, you can get to 85. You have higher lows, you have momentum. The moving averages should probably help you out. So let me rephrase. As long as you hold 78, you can get to 84, 85 on GEHC. Now, headlines aside, I did not look into earnings or anything like that. That stuff is on you. All right, did I miss a ticker? Let me see here. I can't scroll back up. Hit me with tickers. What's in the news this morning? Oh, yes, BA. I'm interested, actually. BA and CAT. Let's go back out in time. All right, so FRZA. Hi, Stefan. So BA, look at it, consolidating inside this descending channel. If BA takes out 219, 220, they can get to 240. That would be a sad day for me because I'm short at 223 via an iron condor. The iron condor is still working out. It expires maybe in a couple of weeks. So I may decide to close it early just so I can avoid the bus that is coming from me. Avoid the flight. Collision, mid-air collision. I do not want to collide. So I'm going to put an alert here just to let me know that it's making progress. And so I need to come and pay attention to that. We'll see. I did AMD. FRZA. No, first I need to do CAT. I'll give you the list of what I just did and look into your tickers and see if your stock is not on there. 1 second, okay? I totally appreciate you guys coming here and gals. We don't have as many people as usual here today, so you're gonna have to do the like button for sure to help me out. Oh, GEHC is going to the NASDAQ 100, 67. Yeah, but if you know about it, shouldn't it be in the stock? So is it popping this morning? I didn't pay attention. Let's look at Caterpillar first. So Caterpillar is going inside of a prior fail zone. So I would imagine there are sellers lurking into 234. Let me zoom back out. Somebody had asked me for an iron condor a while back. I don't know how long ago. So if they are still in it, wow, Cat had a pretty good day. What happened? Was that earnings? What happened to Cat? Default. Why did Cat jump like this? Anyone? I'll do Macy's. Wow, I don't know what that is. Anyway, so this candle is important. So you can put a box around that candle right there and kind of get an idea as to where they're going to probably attempt to sell it. I wouldn't start longs into this box I just drew, the purple box, in case. I would buy dips into whatever, 216 or lower, 210, 208. Value up 8% on one day. They figure it out that it has value. And I don't know. We'll see. Cat FRZA, FRZA, FRZA. FRZA. No clue what that is. It's a penny stock. Well, the charts are not going to help you much. In this case, I can tell you there are buyers lurking at 120 and 115 and 113 and 110, and a hard seller at 155. You take out 155, you can get 20 cents out of it, 30 cents out of it. So these penny stocks are not my specialty. There are a couple guys on Twitter that I do trust. You can follow them. They live and breathe that stuff. Macy's, that's a pretty bad breakdown. The fact that they lost 15.3 was pretty bad. So I need Macy's above 16 for me to breathe. Now it's going into, I was going to go long into the option, into the earnings, and I didn't. That would have been a good one, or buy the dip. I missed it. So going into a prior problem. So Macy's needs to break 16 to have some breathing room, and then it can get $2 out of it. It shouldn't be easy. That white box is not going to be easy. Okay. The easy work off the bounce was an opportunity like you wouldn't believe. Wow, that was an opportunity. How the hell did I miss that? I blame you guys. We missed that. Okay. How much time do we have? Oh, we don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time. Okay. Get me to 100 likes, please. That's your job. My job is to answer your questions. Shopify. Shopify, I'm in a buy the dip mode. I don't think it's a compelling case up here. Coming from somebody who went long on every dip there was. It's stuck in the middle of the range. You have incredible buyers below. Anytime it goes into that box, I think I will get engaged long. And then you have a big problem into the area above. So 60, let's call it. Okay. So it's buy the dip mode for me. Well, if you got long last week, you did okay, and it depends on your time frame. This would make for a good investment. The company is solid, their reputation is solid. If you lose 55, you can get to 52. I'm going to raise that a little bit. I would get engaged long, and if it comes back down into the 40s, I will sell puts, buy calls. I will say to myself, long, you idiot. Oh, you like me a lot? I appreciate it. I like you a lot. C3AI. I would avoid this company. I nailed the earnings call on it. I had it pegged to 35 and 30, and both came through. So my concern fundamentally is do your homework. I don't know the company. I don't know what exactly they do. They have AI in the headline, and this is the age of AI, and they can't even grow sales. So they spend a lot. They don't grow a lot. In fact, they shrink. I think they had a shrinkage in sale, or maybe flat sales. That's concerning. Look, the sales line bottom right and the spending line is about the same. Not a pretty picture. I would much rather have been in Palantir. Wait, I was in Palantir, so that was the better pick. It's not a proven thing yet. So I would rather go with a proven thing. AI is not for me. Neo has earnings, so be careful. Whatever I tell you now is not going to matter much, right? Okay, so this was a darling on Wall Street, and now it can't buy a bid. Literally, it's not for me. Something's wrong. Wall Street hates it. Why should you not hate it? If you're taking along as an investment, bet on the future, fine. I'm worried about the fact that it's a Chinese company and I can't trust the Chinese feedback. So that's what they tell me. I don't know much about it. It's not an insult. But there's no reason it couldn't be 6 or 10 in the next couple weeks. So I don't know which it is, and I don't gamble like this. Do your homework. The chart says don't touch it and sell rallies. So if it gets to 9, exit. And if it goes above 9, you might get the 10. Simple. It's a trade, not an investment for me at all. Pepsi and Walmart. Pepsi. I don't understand for the life of me why Pepsi stock is so active when the company is so boring, right? It's an established company. Why is the stock goes on runs? So here's how I would trade Pepsi. Watch this. Very simple. Just take 2 extension points. Look. So put one here. That's Pepsi. I'm guessing here. How about this? Like that. So if it drops into 175, get long. And then ride it for a little bit and exit. The caffeine. Who is that? Somebody's just as funny as I am. Nick Likeable, that's hilarious. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Walmart, Pepsi and Wally World. I believe you can buy Pepsi and Wally World in Wally World. Walmart stock, I'm not a fan because I can't trade options in it. I like to sell options and they never have good premiums to sell. Big seller at 154. You take out 154, you're going to go $5 to $10 from 154. Meanwhile, dips into 142 are buyable. So if it has a bad couple of weeks, get long into that lower rectangle area. So anything below 142 is a buyable dip in this market. And that's my rules of engagement. So if it finds itself at 142, I would be long Walmart. Meanwhile, there are sellers above here. And if they can clear that, they can take off. So this is the end. We have 4 minutes. I did all the tickers that you guys asked for. Ask me something else to see if we can fill up that 4 minutes. Until then, I'm going to please ask you to get 100 likes, please. I know I don't like to do this. I'm not supposed to do this, but 3 digits, that would be great. Every session we've had 100 likes. This time we have fewer people, so you need to be working extra hard. GitLab, yes, they are having a report, aren't they? Maybe they reported already this morning. Did they report? Oh, tonight. Okay, so are you a member? Who is this? Justin. Justin, you're a member? No? If you're a member, ask me later today. I will look in the options. Not yet? So, Nike. Okay, because in the options, there are clues. Meanwhile, I can tell you the chart without the options. You do have supports into 30. So if it drops into 30 on the option on the earnings, you might want to get engaged long. And if it spikes into 44, it's too late. I think breaking 40 is difficult from the chart, but headlines are crazy, right? So Nike from Dave, sure. Nike, wow. I wanted to get long last week. Remember, we had a whole conversation about it with MSE. Did I? I thought I did. I may have gotten long. I can't remember. But it has resistance and it's scattered. So the way I would have gotten long is I would have sold some puts or put spreads and maybe offered the opportunity to buy some calls if somebody wants to. But this is a long swing opportunity to here. You guys, okay, same. I think I did the same thing. So my level of profit will be limited, but it will be easy profits. So maybe I didn't do longs because of the soon to come earnings. I don't know. I'll have to double check. But it's definitely a better long than a short at this level. We have 2 minutes. I think we should, 92. Come on. We have 2 minutes. I don't think we have too much. Who's expecting debacles this week? This is me asking you a question. They are loved, yes. So this video will be released. If you missed any part of the video, these are the tickers that we covered. The first part, oh, they're not letting me post it? Oh, it's too long, okay. The first part is theory, like on the market. You should revisit that part. The bears may have gotten their wish if the Battle of Taiwan, aka Battle of TSMC, happens. What they created? So the news ran out of news. They don't have a debt ceiling news anymore. Now they create another problem. We have a new problem brewing in the news. What is it? We did Apple. Look at the list. First stock. Now we have a problem that they're telling us. Do we have a Taiwan problem now? Is the market reacting to a problem? I have not looked. No. Don't let them sucker you into looking for problems when there aren't none. They need to sell tickets to their shows. Nobody's going to watch the news. Oh, yes. So here's another statement, Ryan. If Apple starts blabbing about AI, it's going to break out. And if it does break out, if the guy can sell it, you know, I'm not too impressed with Tim Cook, but if he can sell it, what are the bears going to do? Because Microsoft will follow, and Apple and Microsoft are the two biggest components of the S&P. With that, folks, it is 6:20. We've been here a full hour. I owe it to my gang to go back. I have 140 people waiting in the room over there. So members, we can go to the room. 94. If AI GBT, it's game over. So all Apple has to say, William, bish. All Apple has to say is, hey, we have AI, it's built in. All you have to do is pay $2-3 a month. And everybody will pay $2-3 a month. And bam, income generation out of thin air. Crazy stuff. All right, folks, we should end it here. I totally appreciate you. YouTube takes about 25 minutes for it to go through the video and publish it. Gang, I'll see you in the room. Visitors, join the group. You can reach out to me via the comments below. I don't have them restricted. You can say whatever you want. Just keep it clean. Yeah, Crusader, that's okay. We had a small group today. It's vacation time, I think, or people are off, or what do you call that? Graduation. I went to 2 in this week. So, oh, somebody clicked it twice. They went back to 97. Smooth exit. All right, later. Toodles.